Hello there, welcome back to the Ear Wiggle. Today I'm going to show you a fun way to make a cat toy. So, since it is close to Christmas, if there is something you want to make for your cat, you want something maybe a little unique, this is one idea. Since the cats know I am making cat toys, they have decided to join us. So I apologize, they're going to be a little bit, participating here. So what you want to start with is you want a water bottle like this, just an empty water bottle, dry it out, and you want to save the cap, okay? So you got this, and I did dry this out. I missed a couple drops. That's going to be fine for this. And what we're going to do is we're first going to poke a couple of holes, maybe like in the bottom, maybe in the side here. And what I'm going to use for that is a nail. You can use this with just the nail and some tweezers, these are not tweezers, these are pliers. You can use like this with some pliers. You just poke the holes in, but you can also melt them by heating the nail up. And unfortunately, this kitty cat wants to help with that also. So you don't want to do this. This is not something the cats should help you with, this part of it. So I'm going to do it off, I was going to do it off camera, but the whole point is to show you how to do this. So I think these guys are going to have to, here, play with this over here. Alright, so first what you'll do, you want to be very careful first of all, okay? So, do this someplace safe. And if you are a child, get your parents' permission. So what you're going to do is just heat this up and then push it into the plastic here, and see it goes right through real easy. And you're just going to poke a few holes. When you start to feel a lot of resistance, like right there, you're just going to heat it up again. So, going to get this nail, heat it up. Hopefully I'm not melting my phone. Okay. Now we're going to poke a few more holes. And I'll show you what we're going to use this for in a second here. It doesn't want to go in. Give me a moment. Let's try that again. I'm just going to make this hot enough to push through the plastic. This, oops, watch out, buddy. This is an optional step. You do not have to do this part. But the reason we're doing this is because we're going to add a little bit of catnip to this. And these holes will make it so that they can smell the catnip. I'm going to put a couple around the top real quick. So let me just heat this up again. Okay. Just put a couple like around here. Whoops. And these are just going, this nail is just going right through. So I've got a couple holes there. This is not meant to allow the catnip to escape. This is just so that they can smell it. And like I said, this is an optional step. Okay, now that we're done with that, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to move this out of the way. And yeah, you're going to help, aren't you? Look at you helping. All right, so the first thing you want to put in here, if you have them, is something that will rattle and make noise. So I have these various types of like jingle bells. You can find these at the dollar store or just about anywhere. Walmart carries them. I'm going to put one of this kind and one of that kind in. So this is going to make noise. So I've got an extra one left over. I'm going to set that aside. And I want to add some of these little pom-poms. There are all kinds of pom-poms you can get. Since this is going to be for Christmas, I'll use a red and a green one. Anything that you can fit in here, you can put in here. So that's what we got so far. And also, let's see. Let me grab the other, oh, here it is. I'm going to see if I have some of the sparkly pom-poms. Those are really, yeah, here they are. These are really cute. So these have little sparkles on them. And again, I think I'll do a red and green one for Christmas. You obviously can do whatever colors you want. So here's a red one, here's a green one. And so you can see it's starting to look really festive. And the ones with the tinsel on them just kind of pick up the light and they just look a little more festive. You can also add feathers if you want. I've got these little red ones. And again, these are all like optional things you can add. I'm going to add small ones like this. You do not have to add these exact items. You can just find things around the house. Like if you have pasta, like a little bit of leftover dried pasta that you're not going to cook, you could paint it and put it in here. So you got a couple of feathers. The feathers are neat because they don't fall right away. They move a little slower than the other pieces. And let's see here. Seeing if I have any green feathers. I think I do. And yes. Yes, I have some green feathers here. These are dark green, nice pine tree color. Alright, I'm going to find a couple small ones. The temptation is to fill this with lots of big things, but then you end up running out of space, so that's no good. Oh, here's another one. Here we go. And the other reason you don't want to fill it up too much is you want the stuff in there to move around. So if you cram it full of stuff, then you won't have room for the decorations in there to move. Alright, so that's done. I'm setting that aside. Here's a little like broken piece of a green feather, and then here's two more smaller size feathers, and there you go. So you got this red and green theme going on here. Also, if you can find this, this is called vase filler. These are little styrofoam balls. These are like a coppery orange and green color for fall, but I found some that were a little more brightly colored, and I thought we'd try those instead. This has some red and green ones, which I thought was pretty handy. And these little spheres are different sizes. So you can see these are this size. And then there are some smaller ones. So having some variety in size is good. Let's see. See if I have a small red one in here. I do. It's at the bottom. And these normally, let me get it out and I'll explain because this is making noise. Let me pull them out here. Where did the red one go? I just saw it. Aha, here it is. Okay, here's a small red one. So we'll put a big and a small of each color. So these normally you wouldn't want your cats to play with because they're styrofoam. So if they bite them, they'll break apart. These are not the best cat toys for the cats to play with directly. But when you put them in one of these little plastic bottles, they can't hurt themselves. And they get to play with the pretty toy and not get hurt. So that's what I like these for. And they fit into the opening of the bottle nicely. So now we've got different shapes and different densities of objects. So this is good. Now the next thing I want to add is some ribbon. You can get at the dollar store the ribbon already curled. And it looks really pretty. And you can get all different textures of ribbons. You can get paper ribbon, you can get velvet ribbon, you can get all kinds of ribbon. But because we're putting it in here, and I don't mind curling it myself, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if this will curl. Okay. This is a new pack of ribbon, so I'm going to cut this part off. Actually, let's see if this will curl. Well, you know what? I'm not going to add it because it's got like these sticky ends from the glue, and I don't want it to stick to the things inside the jar. So we're just going to cut some off. If you've never curled ribbon, you take the edge of your scissors, and this ribbon has a dull side and a shiny side. You want to lay the dull side over the blade like this and hold it with your thumb. And you want to add some tension, like some pressure with your thumb, and you want to pull this like that. And see how it put a curl? And you go all the way down the length of the ribbon, like that, and you've got this little curled ribbon. And then you can, at that point, you can kind of like adjust it if you want it pulled out a little bit more, or if you want it more clumped up, whatever you want. So I'm going to put a little bit of this green ribbon in here. Okay. And then let's do the same thing with the red. I saw there was a red. Here it is. Pull this out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to pull this. And this takes a little bit of time, but if you're going to make more than one, you can line the little jugs up and then, you know, kind of do everything at once and like make a bunch of ribbon and then put it in each bottle, take the little styrofoams, put it in each bottle, and kind of get like a little assembly line going, and you can make quite a few of these in just a few minutes. And also, this is taking me longer than it normally would because I'm explaining as I go. So let me go ahead and curl this. And you can add this without curling it. You don't have to curl it. Are you going to play with the ribbon? Yeah? We have to put that in the jar. Okay, so that's going to go in here. So we've got red ribbon, we've got green ribbon, we've got the little pom-poms, we've got these little styrofoam balls, we got feathers, we got jingle bells. And this is getting dented, so all I'm going to do is try to blow in here. Hopefully the little holes, the air holes won't prevent me from reinflating this. There we go, fixed. Okay. Looks like I accidentally pushed one of the feathers out. That's okay, that'll go back in. Alright. Now I got this mess here that I'm gonna, I guess I'll let the cat play with it. Alright, so let's get to the mixing. Close these. Okay. Let's see, what else did I get? I think that's mostly it except for the catnip. Yes, that is it for this. So, again, you can add whatever you want to this. Even like little like nuts and bolts and washers and things if you have those laying around, so it'll make more of a rattling sound when the cats play with it. Whatever you want. If you want a silent one of these for them to play with at night so it doesn't wake you up, just don't add any jingle bells. Just put, you know, only ribbons and feathers and pom-poms and stuff. And it'll be a lot quieter for them to play with. Okay, so the next thing is the catnip. And here it is. And that's what he's waiting for. That's why he's here. He smelled the catnip and he tried to run off with it. So I've got this little bag of catnip here, and we're just going to put some in. So I just take like a handful like this and try to pour it in this bottle. If you do it over the top of the bag, then whatever doesn't go in the jug will fall back into the bag and you'll waste less. And yeah, see, that's what he's after. Okay, just a second, baby. Okay, there you go. You got some on here. There you go. That's what you wanted, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, so now I'm going to put the cap on here. If you want, before you thread this on, you could put on here, if you don't plan on ever opening this, you could thread on a little bit of like super glue or something, or hot glue, and then turn this cap, you know, twist it on, and then they won't be able to get it off. I've never had them take a cap off before though, so I don't really think that's going to be a problem. But if you find that your cats are getting the cap off, or if you're just concerned that they might, you can glue it shut. Yeah, I know, buddy, I know. Alright, so here's how that looks with the catnip in it and everything and all the toys. I know, buddy, I know. Come here. Your collar got loose. Let's fix it. There. Here. There you go. Oh. So he likes it. So it's a success. And the nice thing about these is they can play with it on carpet. They can play with it on hardwood. It's not going to matter. It's not going to damage anything. It's just a plastic bottle. It's just a way to recycle your bottles. You can even use colored bottles if you have like a soda or something. If you do get something other, if you use a bottle that had something other than water in it though, you need to wash it out really good. And you may want to do that even though it had water. Or if you want, I mean, you can sanitize them. I don't know if it's really necessary. But they love these. And you can make a bunch of these and you'll find them all over your house because the cats will play with them. So that's a really fun, cheap, and easy toy. And it's a good way to recycle their old toys. If you buy a little plastic or like those fuzzy mice or little feather mice and you find little pieces of the toys everywhere and you don't want to throw it away, just pick up the little pieces of toy, like the little bits of feathers and stuff, and just save it in like a little bag. And then when you make one of these, you just put all those pieces of their old toys in here and they will still play with it. So yeah, so you might already have some things that you can just throw in one of these jars. Also, little origami. If you do origami, you can make little like origami stars and things out of paper and put it in here. There's a lot of fun things that you can put in these water bottles, and they will play with it. So it's just a safe way of giving them a variety of toys. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know if you decide to make one, and I will talk to you guys all later. Have a great day, and I'll see you all soon.